You received your salary 5 days ago. You didn't waste it. You didn't gamble it. You didn't make any big mistake. And yet, your balance already looks fragile. Again, this isn't a discipline issue. It isn't a budgeting app failure. It isn't even lifestyle inflation in the way you've been told. If you feel like money flows through you faster than you can stabilize it, you're not uniquely flawed. You are participating in a system that was engineered for velocity, not accumulation. And you are the fuel. Most financial advice assumes a simple model. Income minus expenses equals savings. That equation hides a more powerful one operating underneath. Income times frictionless access times engineered stimulus equals consumption velocity. You don't overspend because you lack intelligence. You overspend because money has been converted into digital abstraction. Friction has been removed from spending. Stimulation is constant. Incentives are misaligned with long-term wealth. In older financial systems, spending required effort, physical cash, travel to a store, social visibility, delayed gratification. Today, one-click checkout, buy now, pay later, auto-renew subscriptions, invisible microtransactions, personalized algorithmic persuasion. The system evolved, your biology did not. Your inability to accumulate is not a bug in the system, it is a feature. Consider who profits when you spend frequently, carry balances, upgrade devices, finance purchases, subscribe continuously. Credit card companies do not earn from your financial discipline, they earn from your revolving balance. Platforms do not optimize for your savings rate, they optimize for your engagement time. Buy now, pay later companies do not design for long-term liquidity stability, they design for conversion rates. Retailers do not want you to buy once per year, they want predictable, recurring consumption. Even payroll cycles reinforce consumption loops. You are paid monthly or bi-weekly, but expenses are continuous. This mismatch forces reliance on credit instruments. There is a reason credit cards offer points, not equity. There is a reason debt is easy and ownership is complex. The financial infrastructure rewards transaction frequency, borrowing behavior, emotional responsiveness, short-term decision cycles. It does not reward inactivity, patience, capital preservation. When people say just be disciplined, they ignore the structural asymmetry. You are playing chess in a casino.
Now layer in human cognition. You overvalue immediate rewards relative to future ones. This is not stupidity, it is a documented cognitive bias. A $100 purchase today feels tangible. A $100 invested return in 15 years feels abstract. Your brain discounts future benefit because it evolved in environments where long-term certainty did not exist. Modern financial markets require the opposite orientation, delayed reward tolerance. The mismatch creates chronic leakage. Social media platforms perfected this. You scroll because you don't know what comes next. Retail has adopted the same structure. Flash sales, limited time offers, countdown timers, new drops. Unpredictable reward schedules produce the highest dopamine engagement. Casinos use this, so do apps. The more uncertainty in reward timing, the stronger the compulsion loop. Spending is no longer just transactional, it is neurological stimulation. You separate money into emotional categories. This is bonus money, this is side hustle money, this is small, it doesn't count. Digital wallets amplify this fragmentation, but money is fungible. Your brain treats it as symbolic. That symbolic distortion enables micro-leakage, subscriptions, delivery fees, upgrades, impulse add-ons. Each feels insignificant, Collectively, they erode capital formation capacity. Environment shapes behavior more than intention. Your phone is a purchasing portal. Notifications are engineered prompts. Stored card details remove friction. Algorithms predict your weakness patterns. You are not deciding in neutral conditions. You are deciding inside a persuasion architecture. Even language is manipulated. Earn rewards, unlock benefits, limited access, don't miss out. Scarcity cues override rational analysis. Behavioral economists call this choice architecture. The environment is not passive, it is directional. As income rises, spending expectations recalibrate. Not because you are greedy, but because social comparison scales upward. Your reference group shifts. Better phones, better apartments, better experiences. Lifestyle inflation is not purely ego-driven, it is network-driven. You anchor to what feels normal in your peer environment. If your environment consumes, you stabilize at consumption. If your environment accumulates, you stabilize at ownership. Most young earners are surrounded by consumption culture, not capital culture. That shapes outcomes. The issue is not temporary tightness. It is trajectory divergence. Early adulthood has the highest compounding leverage in your lifetime. Capital invested at 22 behaves radically differently from capital invested at 35. When spending velocity prevents early capital accumulation, you lose compounding runway, asset acquisition timing, equity positioning, risk tolerance capacity. This compounds invisibly. While you cycle income to consumption to reset, assets appreciate, equities compound, real estate appreciates, businesses scale. The system rewards asset holders. Consumers fund asset holders. If your cash flow is consistently absorbed by consumption systems, you never cross the threshold into ownership leverage. You remain liquidity active but asset light. Over time, the gap widens, structurally, not emotionally. It is not about feeling broke. It is about missing asset cycles. Most people see money as permission to consume. That framing guarantees velocity. A more accurate framing is money is optionality stored. When you hold capital, you hold decision flexibility, time leverage, negotiation power, investment entry timing. Spending converts optionality into experience. Investment converts optionality into expanded optionality. The system pushes you toward conversion. Wealth requires preservation first. Another reframing. You do not save money. You purchase future asymmetry. You are buying distance from volatility, from job dependence, from emergency fragility, from forced decisions. Seen this way, non-spending is not deprivation. It is strategic delay. You are not irresponsible. You are operating inside a structure optimized for extraction. Blaming yourself misses the mechanism, but removing responsibility entirely is also incorrect. The system shapes behavior, does not eliminate agency. The first shift is not budgeting harder. It is recognizing that every platform you use monetizes your impulses. Every friction removed from spending reduces pause. Every short-term stimulus competes with long-term capital formation. Financial stability is less about willpower and more about incentive alignment. If your environment rewards spending, you will spend. If your systems reward accumulation, you will accumulate. The question is not, why am I bad with money? The better question is, which invisible incentives are currently steering my financial behavior and who benefits? Until you see the system, you will fight yourself. Once you see the system, you can redesign your position within it. Not emotionally, strategically, and strategy compounds.